Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Carl here, and I'm doing pretty good. I just now got my whole entire podcast automated, I guess you could say. As soon as it is published, it goes to YouTube, it goes to Twitter, it goes to Facebook, I think it goes to iHeartRadio. It even goes to my website, wolvofficial.com, and not to mention it also goes to iTunes, and so I think, and Spreaker too. So I owe it to Spreaker for truly making my life absolutely amazing. It's been hectic lately, just trying to get my whole blog working and functioning because I just changed a new theme, a new WordPress theme, and I'm really happy with it. It's going to take some minor tweaks and stuff like that, but I think it's going to be looking pretty good. The whole idea was I was trying to incorporate my podcast episodes with my blog, so I had all these hashtags 1 through 150 for all the blog posts I made, but then on the side I had all my podcasts, which was 1 through 50. So what I ended up doing is they both were called hashtag 1 through whatever. So one of the things I did was I changed the podcast hashtag to just naming it episode instead. So now it's easier for people to okay, episode, that's probably the podcast, and the other one is probably just the blog post. So yeah, and like I said, it gets spread everywhere. I'm truly happy. But in this podcast, what I want to talk about is sharing your ideas for a living. I know the whole law of attraction thing where you kind of, when you share things, you get rewarded, or maybe they come to life. Maybe your dreams start becoming a reality. If you're like me, people actually take my ideas and they make them happen. So I don't know if you want to be on that end. But one of the things I truly love to do is I love to talk about these visions that I have. Visions for a better future, visions for our society. I just enjoy talking about it. And I think we all just want to get our message out there. I'm blessed enough to have this all set up where I genuinely get to do what I want to do. I get to talk and share my ideas, and my plan is to build up a following before I ever start making money. You know what I mean? So before it was the other way around. I was thinking, how can I monetize and how can I make this make me money? But then I stopped thinking like that, and I figured, you know what? I'm about to finish college. I'm going to get a job, and I'm going to get paid. I'm going to get paid decent. And at the end of the day, this is what makes me happy. I genuinely enjoy talking about this and seeing the subscribers, and hopefully in the future I'll start getting a lot more reviews of people leaving comments and stuff like that on the podcast. So, you're just seeing where it goes. But definitely I could see myself traveling in the near future, just making a podcast and just kind of enlightening people along the way and hopefully making a difference. One of the taglines in my website is discover the strongest version of yourself. So what I do is I always try to, improve the lives of other people, and I try to improve my own life, and I share all these little tools and stuff. The reason why I'm doing this podcasting now more than I did with the blog post is because, honestly, I'm more efficient this way. Not to mention it hurts my fingers typing so darn much that at least now I can just publish an episode and you can see the title and then you can get a general idea of what it is I'm talking about, and you can see it on the website if you so be it, So the most important thing is I can get a lot more information out now than I could before. It just took me so much longer to write. So what I'm going to end up doing here is these blog posts that I am uploading to, all these podcasts that I'm uploading, I'm going to have someone transcribe them, and then I'll just take that and I'll put that inside the blog post. the blog post underneath, the picture, so you can read and see what the podcast is about. So it all comes down to being more efficient, and I'm just super happy. Like, I've come a long way, and so I just want to share with you some ideas, and that's kind of what this is about. So you can, in fact, share your ideas. I think it was Elon Musk I think he's the founder of Tesla, don't quote me on that, but I think he also owned PayPal, don't quote me on that either. But the point is, I noticed these people, all right, they have ideas, they have visions, and in order for them to come to life and for them to start appearing in reality, it's not going to happen solo. So what you got to do is you got to be an inspiration to people. You got to give people ideas and motives and tasks. I mean, it's to the point where you need leaders and you need people. Don't hate on me if I use Steve Jobs as an example, but he, when we look at him, we view him a certain way as the one who was the visionary behind the whole thing. And I think I finally found what I want to do, and it's being a visionary. I genuinely enjoy when people ask me, Carl, what do you think? And that to me is probably, I enjoy it when people ask me what I think, because then I get to give my 2 cents. There's no harm, no foul. It's pretty quick and dirty, and you can like it or not. So it's really nice. So the reason why I chose this particular title of this podcast is because you can do the same thing too. I really believe that not a lot of us are getting our voice out there enough. Whether we're fearing like getting shut down or just fearing a lot of things in general, for whatever reason, we don't get our voices out there as much. And I think it's great that there's tools out there on the net that we can use, so we can pretty much share some of our ideas. Because I know you probably have an idea that is absolutely great, right? You probably have an idea. It's just sometimes hard getting that idea off the ground, because if you're, again, anything like me, you don't have the money for that. So the only thing you can really do is kind of put that idea out there. And I really believe that people are listening, and I believe that people who do have money and the resources can make those dreams come alive. And so, it's pretty remarkable. You see it all the time on the Indiegogo, some of these crowdfunding sites that actually, they're raising capital trying to get their products off the launch and stuff like that. So it's really interesting to have, these types of services now where you can, in fact, get your ideas literally off the ground. If you focus on speaking up and just kind of speaking your mind, because I know you think of a million different things throughout the day while you're driving, and you're like, oh, okay, well, this would probably be a good idea. Maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do that. But the reason it doesn't come to life is because, for a couple reasons, it hit us at our worst time. When we come up with ideas, for me, it's in the shower, it's when I'm driving, it's when I'm comfortable is when I come up with these ideas, and there's never a pen, there's never a paper. I'm usually full of water all over me because I'm, again, like in the shower, or I'm just not in a suitable position to be taking notes per se. You can bet I'm not thinking of these great ideas while I'm in class, because I'm trying to listen more than I am trying to take action. So the times I get most creative is when I'm on vacation, when I'm in my car, or when I'm in someone else's car and I'm just thinking and I'm not really worrying too much. And the whole idea is that, we all have these moments where we just want to capture it. We want to seize the moment, like Eminem always says, and in order to seize the moment, you got to write it down. And wow, that's why I think podcasting is just so great, because you can get your message out there, and if you have enough people, essentially following you and digging what you're saying, then you can have a lot better leverage, in the sense that you can make those dreams become a reality that you have. So it's really cool, I think, and more power to the people who are really taking action and getting out there and having their vision become reality, because that's a really difficult thing to do when you're limited on funds and whatnot. So just sharing your knowledge, I think, is really important. I used to think that people were going to steal my ideas. That was a hard thing for me to think about, and I'm sure you probably thought about that too. People are not always trying to steal your idea, and even if they do, I don't think it's such a bad thing. It just means they could beat you to the punch. So if it's something I truly want to happen, if it's an idea that I really want to happen, and I want it to happen fast, like, go ahead, steal it. Steal my idea. I don't have any kind of sourness toward you if you steal my idea, because it's not that big of a deal to me, because I want it to happen. If you can make it happen, that'd be great. And I think that's the right mindset and the right angle to go at it, because a lot of times we think we need to get a patent on things, and that's a whole nother field. But in this particular context, I really think that focusing on getting the idea out there first, it's okay. You don't always have to keep everything inside. And I'm sure there's a lot of people like, oh, I don't know, like poker face, I'm going to keep my cards to my chest. That's cool and everything, but I used to keep a lot of things inside me, and after a while I just learned to kind of vent and let it out. And it's a good defense mechanism. It's good speaking up and speaking your mind. It's really a good idea, I think, to do that. Especially if people are looking up to you for guidance. You want to be able to, you definitely want to be able to get your ideas out there so that people are kind of like picking up what you're putting down. But no, definitely, I've come across a lot of ideas in my day. I always think of like technology things I could do, like apps, designs. I usually try to think of different softwares I could create, or the most recent thing I thought about was, all right, so here's my invention. My invention would be, you could create a watch, like a smartphone kind of watch, right? And what you can do is you can record tasks, like if you have any kind of task, like if it's a priority A, B, or C, all you do is you speak the task into your watch, and it'll organize you, and then and then when you're ready, you hit play or whatever, and the watch will pretty much be your Siri, and it'll talk to you. It's like, okay, Carl, your first task today is A, your second task is B, do it in this order, and then she'll speak it to you. So the next generation that I want to come out with of that product would be, you have this thing where like Siri can pretty much read your mind, and when she can read your mind, she's able then to keep a log, an Excel spreadsheet of all of these thoughts that you're having throughout the day. And with that amount of data that you could have of all those thoughts, you can then analyze that data after the fact, and you can make business intelligent judgments from that data. So if you could somehow tap into all the thoughts that you have every day, you can make accurate predictions about yourself. And it's all about predictive analytics, pretty much thinking ahead, trying to figure out like what's going to happen, what am I thinking, what is my train of thought throughout the day, and then it's all about predictive analytics from there. What I mean by predictive analytics is just being able to see what tomorrow might look like, for example. That's probably the best way to look at it. But this is going to be the end for this episode. I really appreciate you listening, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Don't be a stranger, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.